Right, so tonight we are doing Vet Asylum Sanctorium plus Llothis. So our progression group has just started here, and we're pretty keen to get some runs on the board. So I'm wearing Plague, Alkosh, and Earthgore tonight to give myself some survivability. I know that if I miss some of the swipes, roll dodging or shielding or whatnot, it can really hurt. So I'm wearing this gear just to make sure that I've got a bit of survivability. We're just getting set up. Everyone's got their lanes. And someone's pulled the boss, that's great. Here we go. So obviously Torn, Heroic, Slash, rolling out the steam, and I like to meditate if I need some resources while the steam's going. I take that hit, and I roll out of the next one. So I try and alternate a bit between taking the hits and rolling out, just depends how my resources are going and how I'm feeling. I'm also just learning how to properly apply Crusher on the back bar as of Wrathstone. That's required now. I used to run it on the front bar with a sword and shield. Now I've moved back there a bit just to make sure that the jumps work okay and that I can get the boss position well. This is great. When the lightning storm's coming out there, you can see I just stand there and meditate while everyone's running around. Okay. This may get a little repetitive for you, but I haven't actually dodged out of those two swipes, so it's quite painful when that happens. Rolled out of that one, back I go, reapplying my buffs. Rolled out of that one too, swapping over for the blockade. Back in I go again. And you can see I just get my little position there just to the back and left, and I'll usually maybe just take one of those lightning AoEs that come out, which aren't painful when it's just the one. I'm also learning here to make sure when I hit my back bar that most of the time I'm applying my blockade and my engulfing flames. Still need a bit of practice on that, but I am getting better. And my resources are low, so I pop a potion there, reapply my buffs, and off I go again. We're down 80% already, so that's not too bad for us, and I don't think anyone's died just yet, but they will soon. Health's a bit low. Roll out of the steam. I'm going to pop my horn there, get all my resources back, get a few debuffs on, and send to the boss again. My engulfing flames, because I missed that before. I've done pretty well this fight. You'll see I don't ever get caught out of position when I'm getting hit by the swipe. I'm either prepared for it or I'm rolling out of it. Move some resources, so I'm meditating here. Back in I go. And now it's time just to hang around and meditate a little bit. I put Blood Altar on because on occasions in the past I've popped it, but because I'm sort of relearning how to tank with the back bar Crusher and engulfing flames on the back bar, which is new to me, I don't quite feel like I've got time to get that off. Take a few hits, there we go. Get my debuffs on. He's jumping. So I'm just moving myself just to the back there so that his jump is well positioned. There's his steam again. I should pop a horn. Yep. Get my shield up hopefully. No, I'm just going to roll out of that one. Good. And I took that one with a shield. I reapply my debuffs on the back bar. And rinse and repeat. Alright, need some resources again, so that's a good time to meditate. Back in I go. And get some more resources. You can see you don't necessarily have to wear sustain sets so much. When you start to learn the fights, you really have plenty of opportunities on most boss fights to use meditate, which is just such an amazing skill to reset where your stats need to be. Now I'm pretty low on resources here, so what am I going to do? Pop a potion, there you go, perfect. Getting off my debuffs. Ultimate's getting close to being able to pop a warhorn. Off tank's down, so I'm going to taunt the other boss, Llothis there, but he's... I've just announced it to everyone, but we're all good. He got up pretty quick, so it wasn't a problem for us. So what you can probably see here is that in between swipes I've got time to get on my back bar and do something. If I'm on top of my game, I'll get both my blockade and my engulfing flames off, which is ideal. I've got him back. Here's a good time to meditate again. Look how much resources you get back. It's just, I mean, it's a crazy skill. You should have it on your bar if you possibly can. Take a hit there because I can. And now I can meditate some of my resources back yet again. Really changed the way I tank with that skill coming in the game. Get some debuffs off because I have plenty of resources. We're down to 60% now, so we're doing fine. Had a few deaths, not too many. I find when we get to the fire stage, it's pretty easy on a tank because he's doing a whole lot less swipes, and the fire's not too concerning for me, but it certainly hurts the rest of the group. At least I know that because of the death tally and also because they complained about it bitterly. Now, I got Defiling Blast on me. I probably shouldn't have moved around that much. Oh, man, I took a big hit. There goes my Earth Gore, so that was a nice little help, or save there, if you like. Glad I wore that. Little bit of a meditate and then back in, and I'm pretty much reset now. So I was caught a little off guard there with a Defiling Blast, and it put me off my game a bit, but right back in it now, back to where I need to be. Stamina's low, probably pop a couple of shields, yep. Try and get some stamina back and meditate, that's a perfect time to do it. I'm ready for a horn, but someone else has popped it, so I'm just going to wait. Jumping, so I'm moving back towards the back of the arena so that the jump is relatively centered. When I haven't done that in the past, sometimes you can jump to one side or the other and it really stuffs up the lanes for my group. Now I'd be wanting to get a horn off pretty... Yep, there we go. Good. And a couple of debuffs. Fantastic. Now I can meditate. Not that I really need it there, but why not? Down to 48%. I've had a fair few deaths at this point. Obviously we're learning the fight. So this is a lot better than when we started, I can tell you. We have plenty more deaths than this. We'll get the fight. We'll actually complete the fight pretty much every time. Had a little miss taunt there from my tanking buddy, but it's all good. I can't get him yet. Almost all good. There he goes. He's back again. If he's been over taunted, of course, then you're in trouble. I had to roll out of that steam because I was right in the middle of it. I find if I'm closer to the boss, then obviously I've got less distance to get out of the steam. Now my stamina's pretty low. I've popped my horn, fantastic. All my resources come back and I'm right where I need to be. And why not meditate again to get it pretty much close to max again. And some more. Look at that. Gone from just about nothing right up to full again. Debuffs off. You'll find in between swipes, if I'm doing it the way I want to do it, I'm getting off blockade and I'm getting off engulfing flames in that little period. Sometimes I'm a little unsure whether I'm going to get it all off, and playing from Australia, my latency is not fantastic, hence the name of the guild, Latency Rising. So I'm playing quite defensive, I'd say. There's a steam. I've got heaps of resources, so I apply my debuffs there rather than meditating. Take a hit. Roll out of that one. Get my debuffs off. Resources are getting low at this point. Hopefully I'm going to pop a horn. Yep, there you go. Took a couple of hits there from those lightning AoEs, but it wasn't too hurtful overall. I'm back in my rhythm again. The challenge is when you're learning this fight, if you don't know when to roll with those swipes, you can kill yourself quite often, which I have in the past. Pretty good at it now. It's pretty much on autopilot. When I see the swipe, I'll probably wait about, I don't know, 0.3 of a second and roll away if that's what I want to do. Resources are low. Great time to meditate. In we go. And basically back up to full again. Pretty much feeling the groove here at the moment. Getting everything off that I need to. It's really such a I don't know, elastic sort of role, because yes, you can tank, stay alive, but there's so much more to it than that. It's all about providing buffs to your team and getting as many debuffs onto the boss as you possibly can, which is really where good tanks shine. And I wouldn't say I'm there yet, but I am certainly trying very hard to provide as much debuffs on the boss as possible, so we can get through the fight as quickly as possible, because this one obviously is a long one. Took a big hit. Health's pretty low, but I'm feeling pretty safe because I know I'm going to roll dodge this next one, and my healer's looking after me. Thanks, Sadaku. Took me a little bit of time to get my position there for meditate, and I took a couple of hits because it wasn't a very good position. That's fine though. down just under 30% now, so we're going to get fire soon, which I enjoy. I find it the most relaxing part of the fight. Stamina's low. Hopefully I'll pop a horn. Yep, there we go. Perfect. And meditate, and I'm pretty much back up to full. Wasn't quite feeling it there, so I didn't get my debuffs off. Hopefully I do now. Yep, fantastic. Need some resources, so I'm meditating there rather than switching to the back bar. And he's jumping, so of course I'm going to move to the back of the room. Wait it out. Thanks for the shards, needed some resources. And I'll top them up with my meditate. Perfect. Alright, here we go. We're on to fire at 25%. Now, I find that the second fire that goes out overlaps just slightly, and I can just take a few steps back and not cop that one. When the fire's coming out, I also find it's a great time to switch to the back bar and apply all my debuffs. There we go, just step back, got my horn off. Need resources, so applying my debuffs from the side. Not the best positioning there, but didn't get hurt too much. I'll probably have to take a... oh no, might be right. Perfect. Lots of resources, so applying my debuffs from the side there. Take the hit there. And there's a third one coming. Alright, just overlapping the fire, so take a couple of steps back. Just walk out of that one because I was well positioned. Now we're at the business end of the fight, just 15% left. Step back, just get out of that fire, and some more steam. I'm going to need some resources, so I meditate. And back in. Now I know I'm rolling to the sides here, but you want to be facing the boss directly, well, where he is right now, so that when the blasts come out, when the lightning comes out, everyone's in their lanes and they know where the fire's going to come from. Under 10% now. Pop my horn, obviously announcing it just before. Stepping out of that overlap there. Get some debuffs off. Need some resources, so of course, gonna meditate. Alright, 6 mil to go. Now I've got the blast on me, but I need to move. So I announce that to the group, just so that they know that blast is going to move a little. Because I want to make sure the priority is that the boss is facing towards the back. Down to 2 mil. Now we've ignored Llothis here, so it gets a little bit hairy towards the end. I think he enrages. Oh, we got a few dead people there. I'm focusing on my job, that is, and I'm going to pick him up. There he goes. No, just missed the taunt. Not that it will matter. We've got 1,000,000 health left, and Llothis has enraged, so whoa. The fuel has left it up, but we're going to get this, and there we go. Perfect. And we've got a best score, which is what we're after, because this is our progression group. I know we're not exactly setting any world records here, but this is good for us. And I was pretty happy with that run. I didn't die, and I did my job. I hope you got something out of that. Thank you for watching.
What was our second run last week?
I can't believe shield matters that much.